There's something iconic about that recognizable emblem. You know the one. A young angler perched atop a crescent moon, fishing rod in hand, silhouetted against a starlit sky. It's an image that has introduced countless theatrical experiences over 3 decades, belonging to one of Hollywood's most fascinating enterprises. Picture this: October 1994. 3 entertainment industry titans join forces, each bringing unparalleled expertise from their respective domains. We're discussing the legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg, animation mogul Jeffrey Katzenberg, and music industry powerhouse David Geffen. Together, they established what would be abbreviated as DreamWorks SKG, each initial honoring one founder's surname. Hey, quick favor before we dive deeper. If you're enjoying this deep dive in a DreamWorks documentary, smash that like button and subscribe. Their combined investment totaled $100 million, amplified substantially by external backing. Microsoft's co-creator Paul Allen provided $500 million, securing approximately 18% equity in return. The vision? Constructing an autonomous creative powerhouse, liberated from conventional studio constraints, where artistic minds could lead decision-making processes. This concept was virtually unprecedented at such magnitude, generating tremendous industry curiosity and speculation. Many wondered if this venture might evolve into Hollywood's next major production house. And remarkably, they achieved comparable metrics. There were even bold aspirations to construct Los Angeles' first significant new studio facility since the Great Depression era. They acquired 47 acres for $20 million, envisioning considerable expansion. However, various complications prevented this ambitious construction project from materializing. This narrative fascinates me deeply. Throughout this presentation, my objective is to illuminate DreamWorks' significance and evolution by examining each founder's contribution, starting with the S. Steven Spielberg, the visionary director. Steven Spielberg hardly requires extensive introduction, arguably the most influential director across 5 decades. His breakthrough arrived with 1975's Jaws, followed by 80's phenomenon E.T., 90's blockbuster Jurassic Park, and numerous other achievements. Naturally, DreamWorks swiftly established dominance in live-action productions. Spielberg personally helmed significant company projects, beginning with 1997's Amistad, then 1998's Saving Private Ryan. Impressively, DreamWorks produced American Beauty in 1999, followed by Gladiator in 2000, both achieving commercial success and Academy Award recognition for Best Picture. Consecutive Best Picture victories for a company barely approaching its first decade represents extraordinary achievement. Beyond cinema, DreamWorks ventured into television, though most series proved short-lived with modest success. The notable exception was ABC's comedy Spin City, starring Michael J. Fox. In 1999, DreamWorks invested over $7 million creating internet-exclusive material for POP.com, reportedly compensating Steve Martin $100,000 for a 2-minute production. This ambitious digital experiment never gained traction and shuttered within 12 months. An ongoing challenge involved numerous unsuccessful ventures and commercial disappointments, making consistent profitability difficult. While expecting universal success seems unrealistic, as a comparatively smaller operation, recovering from losses proved harder. Significant financial setbacks occurred during 2002 and 2003, triggering major restructuring. Live-action production eventually diminished as the business's central focus. By 2006, Paramount Pictures acquired DreamWorks for $1.6 billion. The independent operation that had challenged traditional studio systems now joined one of those established studios. Interestingly, Paramount immediately sold DreamWorks' 59-film catalog to help fund the acquisition, later repurchasing it 4 years afterward. Jeffrey Katzenberg departed during this transaction. 2 years later, Spielberg and DreamWorks executives reportedly clashed with Paramount's leadership, announcing their departure. They partnered with an Indian company to relaunch DreamWorks as an independent entity once more, though David Geffen exited at this juncture. Unlike the original formation, Spielberg remained as the sole founding member still involved. The situation grew increasingly complex. DreamWorks was progressively losing its founding identity and becoming less revolutionary. In 2015, Amblin Partners emerged, named after Spielberg's 1968 debut commercial film, with DreamWorks becoming part of this new structure. Subsequently, mature-themed productions release under the DreamWorks banner, while family-oriented content carries the Amblin label. That journey represents DreamWorks' live-action trajectory, merely one segment of the overall enterprise. Jeffrey Katzenberg, the animation revolutionary. Moving to the K. Jeffrey Katzenberg arrived at DreamWorks already commanding immense respect within animation circles. Throughout the preceding decade, he chaired Walt Disney Studios, widely credited as instrumental in revitalizing Disney, particularly animation, producing those beloved early 90s Disney animated masterpieces. His Disney departure involved considerable drama. Company president Frank Wells died unexpectedly. Katzenberg sought succeeding him, but board member Roy Disney blocked this advancement. Consequently, Katzenberg resigned and initiated litigation, seeking over $250 million he believed owed per contract terms that Disney claimed forfeited upon resignation. This turbulent situation ultimately sparked DreamWorks' creation. He transferred his animation expertise to the new venture, which arguably became its most triumphant division. The computer-animated Ants became DreamWorks' inaugural animated feature in 1998, immediately seeming like a continuation of his Disney rivalry. Consider this. Pixar released 1995's Toy Story, the pioneering feature-length computer-animated film. DreamWorks released Ants as merely the second such film, weeks before Pixar's third entry, A Bug's Life. Both films obviously share insect themes. While A Bug's Life ultimately proved more commercially successful, Ants performed exceptionally well, becoming the most successful non-Disney animated feature at that time. DreamWorks subsequently released traditional animation like The Prince of Egypt and Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, which never matched computer-animated production's performance. DreamWorks' defining moment arrived with 2001's Shrek, which notably defeated Pixar's Monsters Incorporated for the newly established Best Animated Feature Oscar. Animation was emerging as Hollywood's next frontier, with DreamWorks positioned prominently. In 2004, DreamWorks Animation separated, becoming independently publicly traded with Katzenberg as CEO. This decision partially reflected that division's exceptional success, providing means to compensate Paul Allen and initial investors. They strategically timed this offering alongside Shark Tale's release, and, more significantly, Shrek 2. These films profoundly impacted audiences. I personally recall experiencing both theatrically, creating wonderful memories. Shrek 2 dominated 2004 as the year's highest-grossing film, and the most commercially successful animated feature released to that point. However, disappointingly low DVD sales created challenges for the newly independent company. Nevertheless, DreamWorks Animation launched additional highly successful franchises: 2005's Madagascar, 2008's Kung Fu Panda, and 2010's How to Train Your Dragon. This impressive lineup explains why NBC Universal acquired DreamWorks Animation in 2016 for $3.8 billion, with Katzenberg reportedly receiving approximately $400 million. Once again, this segment merged with traditional studio systems, no longer resembling the disruptive independent company it originated as. David Geffen, the music mogul. Finally, the G. David Geffen, who pre-DreamWorks already ranked among music industry giants. He financed major Broadway productions like Little Shop of Horrors and Cats, founding multiple record labels, including 1980's Geffen Records, signing decade-defining performers. In 1990, he sold that label for $550 million, receiving 12% ownership of MCA, Universal Studios' parent company. He had also created Geffen Film Company, whose 1983 debut Risky Business launched Tom Cruise's career, most remembered for that iconic musical sequence. There's far too much history here, but trust me, David Geffen unquestionably dominated music industry influence. Upon co-founding DreamWorks, he primarily utilized those talents. DreamWorks Records launched in 1996, signing major artists starting with George Michael, quickly expanding with Nelly Furtado, Papa Roach, and Toby Keith. In 2003, DreamWorks Records sold to Universal Music Group for approximately $100 million, shuttering shortly thereafter. David Geffen remained with DreamWorks until 2008. Video games, an unexpected legacy. One final category deserves mention: video games. Amid everything else, DreamWorks was remarkably deeply involved in gaming. In 1995, DreamWorks and Microsoft each contributed $30 million, establishing DreamWorks Interactive as a joint venture, primarily developing games based on other media. They created a reasonably successful Goosebumps game and an underperforming Jurassic Park title. However, their most memorable contribution remains Medal of Honor, a realistic World War II first-person shooter based on Steven Spielberg's concept developed during Saving Private Ryan's production. Electronic Arts published the game, subsequently purchasing the entire company for an estimated $10 million, producing numerous series installments. Notably, Call of Duty was significantly influenced by Medal of Honor, essentially serving as Activision's response. Many Medal of Honor creators transitioned to developing Call of Duty. It's reasonable to suggest neither franchise would exist without DreamWorks. Present day. Where are they now? Today, in 2025, DreamWorks Animation continues thriving under NBC Universal ownership. The studio has now produced 53 feature films, with their most recent being Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie released in September 2025. Looking ahead, the studio consistently delivers 2 movies annually, one fresh original and one imaginative new story featuring globally beloved franchises. The upcoming slate includes Forgotten Island, September 2026, How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action, June 2027, and the highly anticipated Shrek 5, June 2027. After 25 years, everyone's favorite ogre returns to theaters, demonstrating these franchises' enduring appeal. DreamWorks has achieved remarkable financial success, grossing over $17 billion globally at the box office, with Shrek, $3.98 billion, Madagascar, $2.26 billion, and Kung Fu Panda, $2.36 billion, each surpassing $2 billion, the most animated franchises to reach this milestone. The studio's presence extends beyond cinema. Universal Orlando Resorts recently opened DreamWorks Land allows guests to immerse themselves in worlds inspired by Shrek, Trolls, and Kung Fu Panda, featuring attractions, character encounters, interactive areas, and live performances. Universal Epic Universe, opening in 2025, will debut How to Train Your Dragon. Olive Burke, letting guests experience life amongst dragons. Meanwhile, Steven Spielberg's Amblin Partners continues operating. In 2023, Amblin strengthened its Universal partnership, with Universal now co-financing Amblin movies, while Spielberg retains creative control. Amblin also maintains a partnership with Netflix to produce multiple feature films annually, demonstrating Spielberg's ongoing influence across theatrical and streaming platforms. Conclusion: success or struggle? DreamWorks originated as an unconventional, ambitious concept, and evaluating its success proved challenging. Financial struggles caused gradual dismemberment and absorption by various major corporations, generally operating contrary to its founding spirit. Yet DreamWorks created such diverse, successful media properties. Likely everyone watching has enjoyed something DreamWorks created. Personally, even glimpsing that moon-fishing silhouette somehow elevates my mood. In 2000, David Geffen stated, "This isn't the optimal arena for profitability, but it's the ideal arena for pursuing our vision with minimal interference. We believe over time we'll construct a highly attractive, substantial catalog." That statement remains remarkably applicable. What's your perspective? Has DreamWorks achieved overall success? Do you respect its disruptive nature and creations? What's your favorite DreamWorks production? I've barely scratched the surface regarding their 3 decades of output, but I've highlighted what I believe are the most significant elements telling the company's story. I encourage deeper exploration of everything they've accomplished. You'll be engaged for quite some time. Share your thoughts about DreamWorks in the comments. I'm eager to hear your perspectives. Thank you for watching.